Hello, how are you doing today? I'm Fia. You don't know who I am. I'm an energy worker, Reiki, spirit worker, and healing arts practitioner. And I thought I would stop by for a bit of a, coffee and chat. This is tea, but it's good enough. I wanted to send this as a reminder to myself and to anyone who needs to hear this. Something that came through in a higher self-embodiment dance party I was in a couple weeks ago, and I thought this felt like kismet timing now that we're in Mercury in retrograde, either right now or 3 days from now, I'm not sure. Soon. It's soon. I don't know what day it is. And eclipse season. And what came through really strongly as something I needed to hear and others may have needed to hear was trust in the divine mess. Yes, I'm outside. There's birds everywhere. There's planes overhead. Trust in the divine mess. But there's something to be said for understanding that humanity and living is messy. It's just messy. Humans in the broad range of the cosmos are young. There you go. We're all still figuring stuff out. Doesn't matter how old you are in the range of human years. We're all still young. We're all still figuring things out. And to stop putting so much pressure on yourself to constantly be, I don't know, how do I want to put this? Having yourself together. This idea of like your existence is a carefully packaged aesthetic purpose instead of living. It's okay to experiment and to make some mess and to try new things, and if you don't like trying new things, to quit those things instead of forcing yourself to stick it out because that seems like the right thing to do. I thought this was worth noting because while we're in this eclipse season and during Mercury retrograde, things are messy. Things get thrown at us, and you don't always know where they're going. You don't always know where you're going. Sometimes things aren't what you expected. Sometimes things fall apart. And then new opportunities jump in your lap. And maybe those opportunities haven't necessarily aligned with what you think is right, or what you think you should be doing. But they're opportunities nonetheless. So this is a bit of an opportunity to take a chance, to create a mess, to let yourself just be messy. Have some fun with it. Live your life in a playful way. And even if something that falls into your lap isn't permanent, maybe it's not meant for you. Maybe you get there and you realize, oh, this isn't what I want actually. Cool, that's fine. Did you try it? Did you learn from it? There you go. Life isn't a problem to be solved. We're all just living. We're all figuring it out day by day. I remember I was at a family dinner once and everyone kind of was like, no, I'm 30. That's when you figure things out. That's when you have everything together. That's when I have my life together, like everyone in my family. And looking back at that, I'm like, how's that going for you now? Yeah, you have everything still figured out? You don't? Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. So, this is my reminder to myself that it's okay to change direction, to try new things, to fail at the new things I've tried, to experiment and then hate what I just experimented on, but still see the value in it. To not try to wrap myself and my life in like this neatly packaged aesthetic or this perception based on other people's perceptions that this is how I should be, this is how I should live my life. Oh, I want to do this, but it doesn't really make sense, so I guess I shouldn't. Who cares? There are no rules. The rules that we've made up in our mind and in our society in regards to what is or isn't acceptable, or how you should live, or what steps to take, are completely arbitrary. They're entirely made up. Now, there's laws, and that's a whole other discussion, but the kind of this framework of rules we have in our own life of how things have to be, completely arbitrary. You don't have to. You don't have to live by those rules you've made up in your own mind. You can just change them, break them, have some fun. Nurture your inner child. The inner child loves the mess. The inner child paints and gets paint everywhere and throws a bunch of things into the bucket to make a potion and dumps it all back out. And it's fun. I don't know exactly where I'm going with this. I just think it's a good idea to note that we can sometimes jump into the unknown and live your life in a way that isn't logical or rational, because life isn't logical or rational. And a lot of things we tell ourselves are logic are not. They're just made up arbitrary rules in our head. And be free. Have some fun. Use this time as kind of a portal. Doesn't have to be permanent. It's just an opportunity to jump into new things. See what sticks. See what lands. Let yourself kind of flow. And have some fun.